If most people here, you don't have to scream out the answer. We asked if you like your Yetzer Hara. My question tonight: do you like your Yetzer Hara? You like him?
Good buddies.
Good buddies. So they say Rav Hutner was a bacher in Slobodka. So he was once sitting without his chavrusa. The Alta came over to him and said, "Itche, where's the chavrusa?" So he said, "I'm learning with the Yetzer Hara now." So the Alta asked him, "You're learning with the Yetzer Hara, you might as well learn with the Yetzer Toiv." So Rav Hutner said, the Yetzer Hara has 3 miles over the Yetzer Toiv. He never misses a Seder. He stays till the last minute, and he's a much bigger Bal Kishra. So he liked the Yetzer Hara better than the Yetzer Toiv. But the truth is like this. In these parshas we learn about Parai. Mrs. Sharm says Parai is the Yetzer Hara, besides for wanting the Yidden to be slaves, part of what he was doing was that they shouldn't revolt. If he keeps them so preoccupied with stupidities like building structures that are going to collapse, so their focus won't be on setting up a result to be able to get out. Obviously, he was wrong because Hakadosh Baruch Hu thinks differently, and the reason why they got out was Shalayel Begin Derech HaTeva. But what Parai thought was that the way you can keep the Yidden as avodim was by keeping them totally busy. Right? Lashon Rishonim say Parai Hu Yetzer Hara. Sometimes Yetzer Hara, besides for getting you to do bad, his job is to keep you preoccupied with the bad, so you shouldn't do good. There's a very famous letter that Rav Hutner wrote to a Talmud. I don't know if he uses the Sefer. It's known, I mean, it doesn't write the name of him, but it's known who he's a big Mechavis forum that a lot of people use, the person that Rav Hutner was writing this letter to. And this Bacher wrote obviously a letter to Rav Hutner how dissatisfied he is with his struggles with his Yetzer Hara. Rav Hutner doesn't write them, but he obviously was mefaret specific averis that he did. Say a quick meister with the Rav Shitzer Rebbe. Someone once came to the Rav Shitzer and he complained that he said he has a friend. Might you listen?
Yeah.
You want to listen? He said he has a friend, and this friend does a lot of averis, and he knew very clearly the averis that his friend did. But he said he's a little bit embarrassed, his friend, to come and tell the Rebbe all the averis that he does. And his friend is really a good person, he really wants to do well, but this is hard for him, that is hard for him. Lamaisa, he has a hard time doing well. And he's embarrassed to come tell the Rebbe all the things he does wrong, so he sent me to ask the Rebbe some eitzah for him. The Rebbe Shitzer looked at the guy and said, "I don't understand your friend. Why did he have to send you? He could have just came himself and said that he has a friend that does these things." The kids of this Bacher wrote Rav Hutner on himself the things that he's having a hard time with. So Rav Hutner, you should see the letter inside. Kuf Chav Zayin, I think Kuf Chav Ches, in the Geras Mechtov and Pacha Yitzchak. I think it should be plastered on the walls of every yeshiva, this letter. Rav Hutner told him a very good thing. He told him that the letter that you're writing to me is a contradiction to himself, and he said people make the wrong mistake, a big mistake. He said people think about great people. You read stories of Chaim Kanievsky, he this, he that. This is basically what Rav Hutner writes over there. If you think that Rav Chaim Kanievsky doesn't have Yetzer Haras that we have, really it's going to sound a negative thing to say, but it's the reality. Then there's nothing great about him. If the great people, if Rav Moshe Feinstein didn't have the struggles that I have, then he's not greater than me. What makes a great person great is that he struggled and he pulled through. If he breezed through life without struggles, then he's not greater than I am. What makes a great person great? That if it's all natural, then I don't respect him at all. It's because he is exactly who I am, and yet look what he became. That's what makes him great. And Rav Hutner writes their letter, when you're struggling with your Yetzer Hara, and when you're fighting, and you win one, and you lose one, and you win one, and you lose one, then you should know that then you're being what the great people are. Because the great people are the ones who put up the fight. Don't look at the end result. The fight is what matters. The mashal that I always think, and this is why I said I like my Yetzer Hara, the mashal that I always think whenever I read that letter from Rav Hutner, is sports. But I think it's very real. I think it's literal. Who's a big sports guy? Real sports fan?
Not one.
Nobody. Really nobody.
No sports?
Nobody.
No one?
New thing.
One guy, give me a football
I
fan.
don't need sports guy.
Patriots. You're a Patriots fan, right? Hold on. Yeah? You're a Patriots fan?
No, the Patriots are the worst.
Say this. Okay, a guy who's a Patriots fan, so he hates the Giants, right? They clobbered them in the Super Bowl. There's no gum on the helmet. That whole thing's baloney, right?
Nothing.
So they now, but here's the question: would any Patriots fan want that on the way? So they're right. There's going to be a Super Bowl Patriots Giants. The Patriots guys are ready, and they hate the Giants. The Giants, all the words that they use about the Giants. I'm not going to use now. The Giants this, the Giants that. Would they be happy if on the way to the game, the plane carrying all the Giants, or the bus carrying all the Giants, blew up and there's no more Giants and there's no Super Bowl? That'd be the worst thing. Why, 1 second, you hated the Giants, all of a sudden you always bench when something happened to them when they exploded? Why you hate the Giants? You can't stand the Giants, right? Or the Giants fans feel like that about the Patriots. You can't stand them. But if they wouldn't show up to the game because their bus fell off a cliff, you'd be miserable. The whole beauty of football is that the other team is there and you're putting up a fight. You get sacked, you get a touchdown, you get a pick six, you're fighting, you're doing, they're doing. And what's the response? You ever heard of, can you imagine if a football team, when the other team clobbers them and they get a touchdown and they're ahead, and they decide they're going to stop playing because they can't take it? That's the worst thing. What does a guy do when the other team is winning? You vamp up, you revamp, and you get out there and you fight again. That's the way to respond. The Yetzer Hara, the Sfarim say, besides the actual things he gets you to do, what he does is he plays with your mind. He gets you to do something, gets you to watch something that you shouldn't be watching. He gets you to do an act that you shouldn't have done. And then, he gets you to feel, oh, you're going to go to night sitter now. You spend 2 hours doing that. Oh, now you figure what you are. You're going to go into night sitter and open your Gemara. He gets you down and out, and you lose your whole resolve, your whole drive to be able to go and do it. That's the Yetzer Hara. Like Mr. Sharm says, Pari says, not just the actual thing, but to get you so sidetracked and so caught up when he gets you to do something wrong, it's more than just getting that wrong, it's the attitude. And when you fight back, when you do something, nobody's perfect. You do something that wasn't appropriate, you do something that you shouldn't have been doing. And you know what you do? Instead of getting down on yourself, you say, hold on, he just scored a touchdown. I'm fighting back right now. I'm not going to let him do this. I'm not going to let him take over me. I'm not going to let him take me over and knock me down and push me around like this. I'm going to fight back now. Now's the chance to regroup and there's nothing wrong with after doing something wrong, running to the Beis Medrash or taking out your siddur and the Amud Davesh now after what I just did. Yeah. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. That's exactly the right thing. It's a sensitive thing. It's a change of what it is. We want the Yetzer Hara there. He's there. He's putting up his fight. We're putting up our fight, and that's what life's about. Without the Yetzer Hara, there's no point in living. If there wasn't the Yetzer Hara, then everybody would be equal. Nobody's good. Nobody's bad. Everyone would just do good. So there'd be nothing. There'd be a whole world of Moshe Feinstein's walking around. It'd be a boring world. The whole world is the Yetzer Hara. He knocks you. He kicks you. You fight back. That's the set. Each person is different. My Yetzer Hara is not your Yetzer Hara, is not his Yetzer Hara, is not his Yetzer Hara. No two people are the same. But each person has to figure out in himself when the Yetzer Hara gets the better of you. You know, the response back to him is not by letting him keep you down on the floor and making you go think. Oh, so it doesn't make sense for me to go do anything right once he has me down. Everybody, it's a letter that should be went through inside. Shuli told me I have about 10 to 15 minutes, so I didn't. I would have made copies and gone through it, but you can look it up yourself. You know, right? You do it. It's mamish, but it's a change. It's a real change of the whole thought process change. It's to what's wrong and what's right. Just a little word in the parsha, and I think it can be used because everybody's different. No two people in this room have the same situation, the same scenario, the same anything. And what's good for one guy is not good for another guy. And I say a word in the parsha, not directly, not mamish the same word, but here's the word. By the makkah of Borod, so is hail going to come down? Hashem gave a warning. that you should bring the stuff inside. Anything you bring inside won't get damaged. So the Pasuk says, Hayori is Dvar Hashem, those that feared Hashem, they brought the stuff in. Hashem, the ones that didn't care, they left it out. So Yonis and Merazil, it would seem that it's coming from the fact that the Pasuk was written B'Loshen Yachid. Right? The Pasuk could have said, Hayoreim L'Dvar Hashem, bring it in. Hashem, left it out. The Pasuk was B'Loshen Yachid. Hayori is Dvar Hashem, and then Loisam Liboy. So Yonis and Merazil says, Iyoiv, who was a Yerush Shemayim, he brought his animals in. Bilam, who wasn't, there's a Pasuk talking about one guy who brought in, Iyoiv, and one guy who left out, Bilam. Bilam didn't care for Dvar Hashem. The obvious question to Yonis and Merazil is, what did everybody do? If the masses left out, most people left out, yeah? And Iyoiv was the unique Yerid Hashem that brought in, then what's special about Bilam that he left out? That's what most people did. If most brought in, and Bilam was the Yochid Rasha that didn't care about Hashem and he left it out, it's more special about Iyoiv. And if it was a split, then Stam say who Iyoiv and Bilam, someone else brought in. Why is the Apostle telling us what Iyoiv and Bilam did? No, Mori?
No idea.
Good gosh, no?
Very good.
Democrats, Republicans. Tell me which party they were in.
Huh?
They're two different parties.
Hey, wow! Bilam did. Very good. In the world today, I get my head, I get headaches thinking about people in America with taking, being part of a party. I can understand why when you hold about immigration, and when you hold about abortion, and when you hold about taxation, should be along the lines. What do we want to do the next? Think of taxes. You have your tax opinion. Economics is economics. Social issues are social issues. Where do they connect? The answer is, you can find some fine line, but if you're average guy, if you talk about what does he think about taxes, so he can tell you what he holds. The problem is if he's a Democrat, he has to think like a Democrat. If he's a Republican, he has to think like a Republican. This guy's good. He has to think like a Republican. We know in Mitzrayim, the other Midrashim, there was Iyad, Bilam, Yisro. They were the three Chacham that everyone looked up to over there. Yisro, ever since the Meister Moshe was on the run, Bilam and Iyad were the two hotshots there. They were the, I don't know what they were called, the Bilamites, the Bilamatics, the Bilamniks. They were the Bilamis and the Iyadis. That's what was around. There was only one guy in Mitzrayim who was the Yerid of Hashem. That was Iyad. Everybody else that brought in, because Iyad brought in, so they brought in. There was only one Rasha who didn't care about Hashem. That was Bilam. The Bilamniks that left out, you know why they left out? Because Bilam left out. Not because they were loyal some people with Hashem. The pasuk is very literal. Hayori is Hashem was Iyad. Loyal some people with Hashem. That was Bilam, and that's it. That was Bilam. Everyone else, noch machin Bilam, noch machin Iyad. They never danced, but that's what it is. Very good. But the aside is the mice. But the truth is, each person is different. Even though we said this word, each person is different, and each person, we bench everyone should be zeichet to understand their maps of their situation, and realize that everybody has Yetzaharas. And realize that Yitzhahara is a good thing. He's here. That's what makes life life. He's there, and I bench everybody that every time he strikes, strike back stronger. Go ahead.
Amen.